I've never been one to plan every single detail of a trip. I mean, who has the time, right? The excitement of just booking a ticket and throwing myself into the adventure, feeling the rush of knowing you're about to explore new places, that's what I love. But there's this one time when I really regretted not taking a second to plan ahead. It all started when I was in Barcelona, just a few months ago. I have one of those spontaneous trips where everything felt perfect. The weather was gorgeous. The food? To die for. And I was just soaking up all the new sights and sounds. But then, everything came to a halt. My flight home was supposed to be in the afternoon. I was packing my bags, enjoying my last coffee in Spain, feeling like a true wanderer. That's when I checked my email. I saw the notification from the airline. It was a delay. And then, a cancellation. I won't lie, I panicked. I had no idea what to do. I had no backup plan. I was stranded in a foreign country alone with no way of getting home. My money was running low and there were no available flights for days. I spent hours on the phone with customer service, trying to get answers. And it felt like I was getting nowhere. I couldn't help but wonder how I let myself get into this mess. Why hadn't I considered what might happen if something went wrong? In that moment, I felt so powerless. I was just staring at my phone, feeling lost, thinking about how expensive it would be to book another last-minute flight. That's when it hit me. I remembered a little bit of travel advice that I had gotten a while back. It was about travel insurance, something I had never really thought I needed. You know, I always thought it was just an extra cost that I could skip. But in this moment, I felt desperate. I'd read somewhere that some travel insurance policies cover things like flight cancellations, emergency accommodations, and even helping you get back home when you're stuck. So, I did what I never thought I'd do. I pulled up my phone and searched for the first insurance company I could find. I'm not kidding, the moment I saw auras pop up in my search, I knew I was on the right track. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is some kind of miracle solution. But I have to admit, the process was smoother than I expected. I gave them a call, explained my situation, and within minutes, they were handling everything. They rebooked my flight, covered the cost of an emergency hotel for that night, and even arranged transportation to get me back to the airport. I remember walking back into my hotel room that night, feeling a huge weight lift off my shoulders. I was still a little upset about the situation, of course, but I couldn't believe how simple it was to get things sorted. The best part? It didn't cost me nearly as much as I thought it would. I'll admit, I was a little skeptical at first about paying for insurance, but that was the moment I realized sometimes it's worth it to spend a little extra to save yourself from a huge headache. I can't tell you how grateful I was to have made that call. If I had been left to figure everything out on my own, well, I shudder to think about how much stress I would have gone through. If you're like me and think travel insurance is just an optional extra, I get it. I really do. But from that day on, I never travel without it. Not just for the big things like flight cancellations, but even for the small stuff that can totally throw off your trip. Aura has helped me when I needed it the most. So, I'm passing this along as a little travel hack. If you're planning a trip, especially abroad, take a minute to check them out. It's one of those things you hope you'll never need, but when you do, you'll be so glad you've got it. I'll leave a link to them in the description. Just trust me, it's worth it.